friends. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today is Wednesday, the 30th of July. We're at the very end of the month, and I'm here for you to answer your questions and give you some guidance. So I will wait until people start coming on live, and then we'll have a chat. In the meantime, it is a beautiful day. We're in Tennessee, near the North Carolina border, and next week we're going to be in Nashville because we're traveling in our RV, and it's so much fun. And I will continue to mentor during the week, and in the afternoons, late afternoons and weekends, we will see things and also travel to the next thing. Hi, Candace. Good morning, Kat and Mr. B, she said. Good morning, Candace. Hey, Kristen. Good morning. Mary Sellers. Good morning, Kat and Mr. B. Roll Tide. Absolutely. Kimberly Grace. Good morning. Good morning, Kimberly. Okay. Not a whole lot of you on, just 3 this morning. That's strange. Okay. Well, we're going to talk this morning about whatever it is that's on your mind. Let me make sure I have you on live chat, not top chat. I think you are on live chat. Yes, you are. Okay. Here we go. Get my water. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hi, Irene. Good morning, Kat and Mr. B. Finally able to join on live. I hope Preston is well, Irene. Our best to him. And anyone else on? Ooh, we've got 12 now. Y'all are hopping on. I'm in the North Carolina area because my sister has a home at the top of Beach Mountain, and we're only 15 miles from the base of the mountain, which is Banner Elk. So, and look, she gave me this cute little birthday card. We had a wonderful birthday celebration. Isn't that sweet? I know Irene sometimes gives me beautiful cards too, but now people can't send me things because I'm traveling, so it's okay. He's doing much better. Thank you for your prayers. Oh, very good. I'm so happy to hear that, Irene. Yay. So, I just made a video for my YouTube channel. It'll go out probably this week, and it's all about planning and how important it is to plan. So today I would like to answer your questions about planning, about how you feel. You know, I have clients that I talk to, and one might even be on here today, that say, Kat, I can't do all the stuff I have to do. I don't have enough time, I'm overwhelmed, etc. And generally what I would do when that happens is I will tell them to get out a piece of paper or their planner and let's plan out their day, the rest of their day. And at the end, they feel so much better. Maybe we even plan out tomorrow a little bit because they said, oh, I didn't think I could do it all, but look, it's right here. I've just been spinning my wheels. Let's see who this is. Erica. Hi, Erica. Good morning. I haven't seen you live in years. I'm so excited to see you again. Hi, Erica. I still go live, so I'm glad you're here. I haven't been doing a lot of videos, fresh new videos on YouTube, but I'm starting again. We'll also put up some, what do you call them, Larry? Blast from the past ones, because my videos are what you call evergreen. Things don't change. You know, I might change what I call something or whatever, but the theory is still the same. So they're good. You can go back and watch old videos. They're all good. Sherry Cook, good morning. Haven't caught you live in a while. Happy to have you, Sherry. And there's Mr. B with his Nashville Sound Hub handle. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I don't know if you know this, but Larry is a music guy. He had a recording studio in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, and they used to make demo tapes. That's what his recording studio did. And he is now making video, well, they're YouTube and they're Spotify and they're all over the place, but he's making music with AI. He's writing the most beautiful songs. We wrote one together last night, and he wrote another one based on something we used to say to each other. They're just great. So if you want to go to Larry's Nashville Sound Hub, is that where they are? No, that's not where they are. Oh, well, where are they?
Go there though for all hee-haw.
Oh, that's hee-haw clips. Sorry.
Old country music.
What's it called? Your thing? Larry James, because that's his middle name. Larry James Classic Country. That's what you can find. There's another Larry James out there, but you'll know when it's Larry because the music is great. Okay. I just love it. Every time I listen to a new song, I go, oh my gosh, Larry, how can you write anything better? So it's awesome. Candace, I just got back from a couple of days with two of my girlfriends. Ooh, I love that. One I've known for over 50 years, and the other for over 30 years. So much talking, so much fun. I can totally relate to that, Candace. My girlfriends and I have been friends for 50 years, and one much longer. One since I'm 72 now, had my birthday last Saturday. And my girlfriends and I have been friends since I was 19, almost 20, and then one of them I've known since the 8th grade. So, yeah, it's fun. It's so fun to share a history with people that you love, isn't it? They become family. All right, so let's talk about planning, okay? Let's talk about planning. So, the number one thing you have to consider when you're planning is, what are your commitments? What have you said you would do? Absolutely, Candace said about her friends. What is it you've said you wanted to do? Or you've committed to do. A lot of us overcommit, and that's why we can't get things done. And sometimes we have to really be serious about that and say, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to have to cut back. But if you have children, especially, there's a lot of commitment. You've got to take them to their sports practices, and you have to take them to the sports competitions, and you have to, maybe you're homeschooling. That's a big chunk of your day. You've got pets that need to go to the vet or to the groomer or whatever. You've promised your husband you will do some work for his company. I'm just trying to come up with all the examples that there are. The church, you've promised that you would do something at church. Some of you, one in particular, does so much work for the church, they finally started paying her because it's so much of her week that's taken going to church. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you still need to be able to take care of yourself and your family and your home. Even, a person who works in a 40-hour week, some of you 60 hours, has to be able to take care of herself, her home, and her family. So you want to be able to plan out your time. And if you are a person who works outside the home or works from home, that day, that work day that you give away for pay, that time of yours that you give away with your talent for pay, is scheduled. It's not something you can just say, okay, I think I'll work on this today. Let's say that you're a kidney dialysis nurse. When you come in, you've got patients that have to be seen, and when you see them, you can't just say, oh, I think I'll do this first and this second, and then I'll hook them up. Nope. They have so many hours that they have to be on there. I don't know all the rules, but you have a certain protocol that you have to follow. It's the same in your home. Your home is just as important as your job or your church or whatever. I've written several Christian songs. My dad was a musical genius and could play any instrument you put in his hands. He was self-taught. My husband's father was like that. He was self-taught and could play lots of different instruments, and he was very intelligent and enjoyed music. Larry enjoys music. He can play guitar, but mainly he was a singer. He's a singer, and he's a writer. So it's so much fun. I hope you listen to his music, Mary. That would be awesome. And it's classic country. It's beautiful, though. It's that's the only music I didn't like when I married Larry. When I was 23 years old, he said, "What kind of music do you like?" And I said, "Everything but country." And he said, "Oh no, you're going to learn to love it." And my dad listened to country music, and I knew about country music, but I didn't love it. But I liked jazz, and I liked soul, and I liked R&B, and I liked I don't know, whatever. I liked it all. But opera, I didn't like that. But now I love it. It's awesome. So I'm ready to answer your questions on planning. Now, Kimmy had told us originally, and had been told by her, I don't want to call her a bookmaker, by her manufacturer or whatever, for making her planners, these beautiful planners that we've been enjoying all these years, that they were going to be able to take orders until August the 5th, but now that's changed. Or it was August something, and then they backed it up to August the 5th, and now it's changed. Something happened, and they can't do any more. So unfortunately, if you don't already have your planners for the rest of the year, um, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. You can go look. She has all the explanation on her website. So you can go look at she'sinherapron.com shop, I think. Just put in she'sinherapron.com and then look around and you'll find the things and it'll say what she's doing. I do listen to his music. I love it. And Mr. B is so talented. Yay, Mr. B. He wrote a really pretty one yesterday. He wrote, but one of my favorites is 3 Words I Never Said. I love that one. Anyway, and there's a bunch. But the one we wrote yesterday is called, what's it called? It hasn't been released yet.
I don't remember.
You don't remember
Too late last night.
about the thunder,
I don't remember.
the storm?
You?
I don't remember the name. We were very tired.
It's okay.
But it sounded good to us when we were really tired, so hopefully it's good today when we listen to it again. Anyway, that was fun. We have fun together. Isn't that nice? I hope you're having fun with your spouse. Okay. Are you ready to ask me questions about planning or planners? Hello, dear Kat. Missed you. Hi, Sarah. So glad you're here. So glad you're here. Do I look better? I feel like I look better. I love being in an RV and traveling. It is so much fun for me and for Larry. We love it. And our plans, as I said before, are to go west. We're going to go to Nashville first, and we're going to go west. But we've changed some of our plans. We're not exactly sure where we're going. I am going to end up in Colorado at some point this summer. We started late this year, and I have to be back in town. Thank you, Sarah. I have to be back in town by October 19th. For the 20th, I have to have labs drawn, and on the 27th, I have my ablation on my heart because I have AFib. It's that kind called paroxysmal or something. It's a kind that, I only get it once a year or so, but it started to be more frequent. So I'm going to have that. And then that'll be done and I can go play some more. We'll stay for Thanksgiving and Christmas in our family area. And then we're going to go west again and really enjoy ourselves. We really love the cowboy history. We love all that. So it'd be fun. And we like all history, but right now we're interested in the cowboy history. And I know Oklahoma has a lot, and New Mexico has a lot. Texas has a lot. We've been to the Utah area has a lot of fun things. Like you could see the Pony Express route and all that. Late to the party. Good morning, Jocelyn. Hi, Jocelyn. Victory Financial Fitness. So glad you're here. So, if you're Victory Financial Fitness, Jocelyn, you know how important it is to plan your money. And that's something that I teach when I mentor people. If they need help with their budget, I help them with their budget. I help them create a budget. I help them work on it. It doesn't just happen overnight. A budget takes several months to get the way you want it or to get used to it. And then there's always that little ebb and flow, but you have some general goals. And so I can help you with your budget. And it takes a plan. So if you just, I retired at the end of my career as a banker, and I would see people who were wealthy, and I know you've heard me say this before, come in who did not plan their money. They were wealthy, but they didn't plan their money, and I could see it just pouring down the drain. And they would waste it on fees and things that they just didn't pay attention to, and overdraft transfer fees and things like that. They didn't have so much overdraft fees because they had it set up and hooked to their credit card or to their savings account or whatever. But it was a waste of money and they weren't paying attention to what they were spending. And I have known people who were wealthy and now are not because of that. So let's see what Sarah said. I'm finishing packing and moving out of the condo I lived in when my brother tragically passed away. Oh, I'm so sorry. Struggling with grief coming up as I pack things I haven't seen since before he passed away. I know, we call it grief because it makes us sad, but it also is a happy memory of the person that we loved. I think the worst thing is that we miss them, And I'm so sorry for your grief. The hardest thing for me was to say goodbye to those things and let them go. That was hard because it does sort of represent I lost my dad 1 year, my mother the next year after taking care of them for 5 years, my sisters and I full time. And and their whole life, when they weren't sick, is in that home. And it's hard to let go of things that they loved and cared for, but you really can't wear or don't need or don't want, even though you loved it for them. It's hard to let go of it. But once you do let go of it, it's better. I promise. It's better. So keep some precious things that you don't want to get rid of, things that you love, that you need, that you want, that you like, that remind you of your brother, or some sentimental things, but you can't have a museum to the person. That's the hard part, because we can't build a museum to them. We don't have room in our homes for that. So packing up your condo, I know you're packing your own things, but you are finding things from your brother. So my heart goes out to you, but you can do this. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. And just know that he's in a better place. I know that's a very old thing to say, and it's hard because I can't make it better. And grief doesn't go away. It comes in waves when you least expect it. But then the more you experience the grief, the quicker the grief goes away. I like to think of it like being in the ocean and being knocked over by a wave that you didn't know was coming, and you can't breathe, and you can't breathe. And then finally you pop up and you can breathe. That's when the grief recedes. And as it happens less and less frequently, you'll also be able to pop up faster. The grief wave isn't so strong. And eventually it'll just be a little wave like that. It won't knock you over. And you always miss your loved one. You will. But it will get better. I do know that. Okay. All right. I know you do, Sarah. Okay, so let's talk about planning. Whether you're planning to move or you're just planning your day. Are you overwhelmed? Hi, Lindsay. Love your wave analogy. Thank you, Sarah. That's the way it felt to me personally. And that's, I have to just say, as an older woman, I'm 72 now, older woman, I can only tell you things I've experienced or things that I've seen people experience, and that's just the way that it felt to me. That's the way it felt to me. So I hope it helps, Sarah. Okay, let's talk about planning, because that's what this is about. Planning, and we only have a few more minutes. Do any of you have questions or concerns about plans? There are 30 of you on here. Hi, all of you. Not a lot this day, but still 30. None of you have a question about planning? Kat, thank you so much for explaining grief that way. Jocelyn, you're welcome, Jocelyn. Do any of you have a question about planning? If not, I'm just going to talk about it. Okay. All right, I'm going to talk about it. There's 32 of you on now. I'm going to talk about planning until someone asks a question about planning or it's time to go. So I've actually got 3 minutes because I've got a client after this. In fact, I'm going to set my timer. I love this. And that's part of planning. I have to know that I have a client in 3 minutes. Okay. So put your things down first that are your commitments. Lindsay, I was sharing earlier about, like, if you had to take the dog to the vet, you put down the dog vet, how long it takes to get there, how long you're going to be there, how long it takes to get back. If you have to go to Walmart, when can you go there? When can you fold clothes? When can you do the things? You just write it all down. And then you say, okay, where can this go? Where can this go in my plan today? Okay, Sarah says she is overwhelmed by many things she has to do. Any advice about planning a project? Well, anything that you plan, including a project, you have to first say, for the day, what are my commitments? And then after you've got that down, then you can say, what time do I have available? What time do I get up? It's going to take, and I can give you some general outlines for how long it takes to do things. It takes about 30 minutes to do your morning ritual. So you get up in the morning and do your morning ritual. And then you put a load of laundry in. That's not very long. And then you make some breakfast and eat. So that's 30 to 45 minutes. And then you clean up. And then you've got, maybe now you've got some space. Maybe you can go take that load of laundry and put it in the dryer now that you put in at the end of your morning ritual. And now you've got to, it's got an hour to dry. That's perfect. And then you've got to leave after that. So You've got like a half hour left before you have to leave. So you take out your clothes and you fold them. Or if you don't have a half hour left, then you leave them in the dryer. When you come back, fluff them and fold them. And you put that on your list. And then you say, what's for dinner tonight? Because you have to take care of those priorities first. What are you going to eat? And then take care of yourself. That's your rituals. Morning rituals first, the before bed rituals at the end of the day, etc. Projects are a different kind of a planning, so I'm not going to talk about that today, but I have videos on projects. And I'll talk about it as a subject maybe next week. Hi, she's in her apron, Kimmy. I was talking about you and told them that things have changed and they can go look at your website and see all the explanation. Okay, Erica said she's overwhelmed by homeschool. She always has all these plans and then it feels like more than half go out the window. Do you have any tips for staying on task? Yes, don't plan so much. Sometimes we just over plan. If you've ever been in a classroom with a teacher, she just stops at the end of each subject and goes to the next thing. So she doesn't over plan. She just says, I'm going to do this for this many minutes and this for this many minutes. And if there's anything left, I'm going to let the children do that at their desk as seat work, or I'm going to send it home as homework. And homeschooling, we don't need to do that because we're there closer by. Ooh, I've got to go closer with them to help them get through their work. Okay, so don't over plan, and that's what I would say. If you consistently can't finish, then either you're getting distracted or you're over planning. Mary said they're about to paint their laundry room. She couldn't imagine doing this 3 years ago before she found me. It would have been an impossible task with all the stuff I had in there. I'm so proud of you, Mary Sellers. Hello, lovely community members. Sending hugs to all of you. That's Sarah. Pick it up. Don't pass it up has helped me tremendously. That's Mary. Kat, you're amazing. So happy I caught you today. Love you, dear. That's Sarah. Larry has his my Patreon channel up for $6.50. You can be watching those videos every day, Monday through Friday. And Kimmy said, oh man, it's heartbreaking, but the planner will be reimagined. Looking forward to it. Sarah, love that. Thanks for sharing. Yes, don't overplan. 2 hours is plenty. Absolutely. Thank you, Kat, Sarah said. And Erica said, thank you. And Victory said, great to see you. Love Jocelyn. She said, great to see you, Kat. Jocelyn. All right, that's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I hope you always remember to be beautiful because you are beautiful. Oops.